right, welcome to Tarot in White Gloves. When we get into the cloud of seat, we see this is your Sagittarius you versus them reading. Remember, I do read for current energy and as it flows over the next 30 days. I am focused on soul tribe, soul twin, and soul mates. And take what resonates and leave the rest. Remember, it is completely natural to flip the energy if you feel like you're here, Sag, and your person is here. Again, you take what resonates and leave the rest. So we're going to go ahead and dive into it. Thank you, Divine Creator, for channeled guidance. All right, so for your reoccurring theme, Sagittarius, I do see loyalty and sorrow. And both the energies have this gray feeling. Immediately, I feel that even in the loyalty, there's some sort of sorrow that seeps through. I feel like the two of you have a past history where you can trust each other. Something is reliable, or you believe in this or believe in each other. Maybe one or both of you has a strong loyalty to the connection to the other person. But maybe one of you has depression, or there's some sort of sorrow that seeps through this connection. Some sort of disappointment that comes through. It could be outside the connection as well. That's something that you are grieving. But that's the energy that's coming through as the reoccurring theme from the recent past and or over the next 30 days. This also could be something that you repeat many times in your connection. But this is what's being emphasized over the next 30 days. What we do get in your soul's lessons is all about boundaries. So where do you need to establish better boundaries? So this is the purpose of your connection. Something that you're learning with your other person is being able to create clear boundaries in your life with friends or family, even in work, like coworkers, saying yes, but then you really mean no, and then you're resentful and you're like, why did I say yes? Now I'm drained. So this energy is teaching you that even though it might seem like it's okay to say yes when you really mean no, and maybe it's a bit by bit kind of thing, over time you then become feeling depleted or resentful or taken advantage of. And so making sure that your no means no and your yes means yes, because the better compassionate and loving and giving you can be comes from your boundaries. And so when you have clearer boundaries, then your yes means yes and you're able to give, right, unconditionally. So this is just a reminder to remember, if you're not sure, sometimes you can put your fingers on your belly button, and that ask yourself your question, is this good for me? Do I want to do this? Because your gut feelings are in your belly. And then what do you feel in your belly? Does it feel like or does it feel like okay? Then right? So there's something around learning boundaries better over the next 30 days. So let's go ahead and dive into who your person is in the pre-shuffle, and then we'll get into our cards. In the pre-shuffle, I did get the hummingbird and the tiger. So let's go ahead and see what else we get. If you watch my channel, you know I love the Egyptian cards, hieroglyphs. So we'll have glyphs as well. I also do the Hebrew letters, and I love the animal cards. Sometimes Celtic, Druid, Rumi, or Buddhist advice as well. And we do angel cards. So let's go ahead and dive into who Sagittarius is. All right, beautiful energy showing up. This one wants to come out. All right, so what we got for our Sagittarius, hummingbird and tiger are the first two energies. The hummingbird is very busy, right? It's a very busy animal. It likes to flitter and flutter and get things done. Its neck, I don't know if you can see it in this picture, is red, so it reminds me a bit of fire energy, but it is air, so it's tapping into, in its throat chakra. It's like speaking its truth. It's a very going here, going there, to and fro, busy to get the nectar, right? The sugar, to get what it needs to live. And it has a motivation in its throat. It might be really, really good at singing, or your person, or this is your energy, Sag, but if you're the cross watcher, it might be your person. Might be someone who is good with their words, or they speak up for themselves, or something around that. But we do get a lot of beautiful colors, like a rainbow, around the hummingbird as well. So this reminds me of feeling more connected to the world as well. And this energy is, you know, very positive. It's spiritually resourceful. You know, it's able to get what you need spiritually and like speak your truth or express yourself. It's learned where the nectar is, and it can return daily to the source that it needs for nourishment and rejuvenation. So it's like, this energy is like you are connected to source, to God, knowing that it's inside you, above you, where you can go to refill yourself. The sacred springs from source, from God. So it's like you have the ability to tap into your spirituality, your creativity, to find what you need to refill or to replenish. This is a smart and curious and loving to learn energy as well. So this is a very beautiful energy to start for our Sagittarius. We also did get our tiger, and I feel for some of you it might be in the upright, but it did come in the reverse. So this is of course a divine feminine, a nighttime animal. So the tiger is very good with the lunar forces. There's an ease in the darkness in night, like it doesn't scare you. You're able to get done what you need to get done even when the sun goes down. You're not easily frightened. You're strong, kind of king of the jungle, like the lion type of animal, except that you're a lot more connected to spirit. This is a strong spiritual energy as well, and fearing nothing. You're able to meditate or be silent at night, to get into that calm, to get into your spirit, knowing there's nothing to fear because spirit, source, God are right there for you. This is also awakening into your own power. But because it did come in the reverse, there you might be feeling overstimulated over the next 30 days. There might just be so much you're picking up on, and you're feeling overstimulated or overwhelmed. So one of the advices is to light a candle and gaze at the candle and just let yourself calm as you gaze at the candle, maybe even while you're in the tub. All right, and your next energy, Sag, we do have our Egyptian Empress, and we have a beautiful sun rising behind her. So you're feeling grounded. You're feeling like you are able to nurture yourself, take care of yourself. This is a strong self-love energy. Remember, self-love also means honoring what you're feeling, even when you're not feeling like doing something, and instead of saying yes, saying no. So there's a lesson around your boundaries as well, to get fully into your Empress energy, to remember to honor your boundaries, because that's how you feel replenished. That's how you feel nurtured, and self-love and self-care is by honoring your own boundaries, honoring your own standards. But I feel like you are learning that. If that was something you needed to learn, this might also have to do with your person, but you're definitely getting into your own over the next 30 days. This is a very powerful energy. This is a growing, expanding energy. You may be growing in this connection, or it may be making you feel like you are expanding yourself and becoming a better person or a stronger person because of it. This can also have to do with work, since we do have our 8 of coins that popped out right after. This is feeling like you are doing a lot of hard work. You're putting the work in to make your dreams come true. It's like you're a hard worker, working hard, getting into your Empress energy, taking care of yourself, your house too, since we do have our energy here. But this mostly has to do with work. Now, I do like to separate the energies into life, work, and love as well. And so usually these energies on this side have a lot to do with the way you're feeling overall in life, and this has to do with work and love. So it feels like you might be putting a lot of work into your work, and that might be not helping your connection. You know, if you're being a workaholic or spending too much time, so you might want to take a bit of time to think about whether or not you're giving enough to the connection, or if more of your time is focused on making money and working. But it does look like you're working hard, feeling good enough, feeling in your good space. So beautiful energy for you overall. The only energy I'm concerned about is this one, which is overstimulation. You might need to take a time out, meditate. Candle gazing is what's recommended. So I was in the meditation earlier, I forgot to mention it. And what was coming out in the meditation was I was seeing someone in a gold mine, working in the gold mine, and chipping away in the, like a miner does in a cave, finding gold. It just reminded me of that. So it's funny that this energy comes out, because this has everything to do with working really hard. So maybe you are just working really hard over the next 30 days. I was also getting hear the call. That might mean something for someone. And also, are we bringing him along, or is he coming with us? Something like that. So I don't know what those messages were for someone. We're gonna go ahead and dive into your person's energy. We did get Panther in the pre-shuffle, and we're gonna go ahead and dive into our Egyptian energies. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment. We still are a growing channel, and I'd love to hear from you. And we do a collective every Wednesday where we dive into Egyptian hieroglyphs. And on Saturdays, we release our sign you versus them. Let's go ahead and get at least one more, but preferably two more. This one kind of wants to come out. And why is the Six of Cups in reverse? Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. We do get our Panther energy for your person that came out in the pre-shuffle. And this energy is a fire energy. So is the Tiger energy. So fire energy tends to be really connected to your soul, you know, motivated, passionate. It's more of a heavenly energy, tapped into your intuition, you know, what your soul is guiding you towards. So this energy, though, is also about getting rid of that which is not necessary. You know, it's purging out the things that you no longer need, that are no longer useful for you, whether they're physical things, emotional things. The Panther will not stand for stagnation. It's like you are moving forward. You're sick of not growing or moving forward in the connection in life, since this does fall out in the overall life energy as well. It's an energy that causes a bit of havoc to give yourself more fulfillment. It might be an unexpected or uncomfortable, devastating feeling. So some of you may feel like something happened that was unexpected, or you're feeling very uncomfortable, or something was devastating. Again, we did get the sorrow energy, so it feels like everything is not quite comfortable or where you want it to be. But when the dust clears, this energy is very wise, and you're able to learn from your experiences and become a better person out of it. And you're going toward what's brighter for you. And this energy is very brave and productive. So there's something around that for your person that's coming through on their side of the energy. And worth noting, in the pre-shuffle, I also got gut feeling from the angel advice, which came up in boundaries, in understanding boundaries better. So following your gut feeling, the recommend with boundaries is all around what I was channeling through about touching your belly, and asking yourself the question and seeing what your belly feels. That's your gut feeling. So the angel advice is also around paying attention to your gut when you're listening and developing better boundaries. So let's go ahead and dive into your Egyptian tarot and see what we get here. I do see your Ace of Coins is in reverse. So this is a reversed energy. So this feels like stagnation. This feels like not growing, not moving forward. And we did just talk about that with the Panther. Like the Panther is not standing for it. Something feels stagnant, stuck, not growing in your life. Now, it could be connected to this connection altogether, but this is in the life sector, so it could be in any area of your life that feels very stuck, and you are not standing for it. You're getting sick of it. You're getting brave, and you want to be productive and move forward. Now, what I get after that is our Six of Cups reversed and the Three of Coins underneath that as clarity. So to me, this energy is saying that there is an unhealthy pattern, particularly in work, with the way this feels like a project or teamwork with a coworker, possibly, that you're having problems with, and it's getting in the way of your ability to move forward and be productive. I feel like a lot of you, it has to do with that. But for another group of you, this has to do with the way that you want to build, since this is our love connection as well, reading, building or rebuilding something with your person. And it's like you guys are not getting on the same page. You're not working as a team. You're not building what you want to build here. This can also be therapy as well, or maybe your person or you don't want to go, or don't want couples therapy, or whatever it is that's needed. This energy here is an unhealthy pattern that keeps repeating from your past. So this unhealthy pattern that's repeating is preventing this from building or further or rebuilding, or someone doesn't want to necessarily do the work needed to move this forward. So this is the energy that your person is in. They're feeling like there's an unhealthy pattern that keeps repeating, and it has preventative power on what you're able to build or rebuild here, because it keeps playing out over and over, and it's a past energy. Now, I do see expansive and growth energy on the side of the Sagittarius, but it seems like they're really focused on their work, so they may just be expanding and making their money more. Again, they might be neglecting this connection. Take it as it resonates for you. Maybe that is the unhealthy cycle, a workaholism kind of energy here, but we'll dive in a little bit more and see. I also get our Page of Swords. So, no, actually, I think this is the King of Swords in the Egyptian deck. Yeah, this is the King of Swords. So this energy is very communicative. It's very open, laying it all down. You're communicating everything you want to communicate. And I was feeling that in the hummingbird too. So it feels like both of you are learning how to express yourselves better through your words in what you're wanting, what your boundaries are. And this energy is communicative through the hummingbird, and this side's communicative through the King of Swords. But you're not arguing so much. This energy is more like being clear, being conscientious, being open, and it feels like it's probably about these unhealthy cycles, because this comes right after this energy. And it's like we've got to talk about it. There's something here we need to talk about, and it needs to be open and honest on what we're talking about here, so that we can move forward in whatever is holding this up, because there's a big hold up here. Now, for some of you, this hold up again has to do with work, because this is the coins and this is the coins. But for another portion of you, this is the relationship itself. And it's like you're not able to build a life here. This is building life, rebuilding something here. This is also building life, working as a team. And both of those are in the, this is in the reverse, and this is an unhealthy pattern that keeps reoccurring. It's like you're not able to work as a team. You're not able to get on the same page. You're not able to build something here. So let's go ahead and dive into feelings. How does your Sagittarius feel? How does the Sagittarius feel? For soul tribe, soulmate, soul twins. For guidance, light, wisdom, healing, love. How does the Sagittarius feel? All right, we do get the King of Wands. The Nine of Swords reversed, so that's good energy. How does the Sagittarius feel in this connection or for their person? Nine of Pentacles again. All right, I'm going to go ahead and draw one more. How does the Sagittarius feel about the connection or their person? Oh, we get our Four of Wands. Okay, so this is a soul purpose or soul contract, more so energy. And we're going to go over the signs a bit too. This is a strong Aries, and for some of you, Leo energy. So you might be connecting with an Aries or Leo. This is a strong Taurus energy here. So this is feeling like your person and you, the Sagittarius, is knowing in their feelings, in their gut, that there are soul contracts between you two that are playing out. They might view you as their king as well. Take gender as it resonates. This is also a divine masculine energy. We get a divine feminine energy here. So their overall energy is divine feminine, but how they're feeling about you or the connection feels like divine masculine. So that might be on the opposite side. This energy feels very powerful though, motivated, positive. In the meditation I was hearing hear the call. This is a hear the call energy. So, and it's, you know, right under the divine feminine energy when it comes out. So it's like they are connecting their feelings to understanding that there is a soul root between the two of you that has strong lessons and contracts that are playing out. I also get the Nine of Swords. So there might have been some anxiety or depression, stress, but it's in the reverse. So it's like they're releasing it, or they're trying to release it, especially because we get our King of Wands before that energy. So it feels like they're having success in releasing their anxieties and stresses over whatever it was that was stressing them out. We do get our Nine of Pentacles again, which comes right after this. So again, this is energy of working really hard and building your kingdom, but it's being independent. You know, it's like you're independently creating your fortune, not necessarily with your other person. And you may be focused too much on money, especially since it comes out in the love sector, where it's like you should be focused on the connection, but instead you're focused on work and money and savings. This energy feels, you know, when it's in the reverse, it's a codependent. But when it's in the upright, it's like very independent. It's also a mini Empress. So you get the Empress here and a mini Empress here, which is like self-love, self-care, focusing on the self, expansion and growth, but around your money. That's the message coming around again. And then I wanted to draw for one more. So we did get our Four of Wands, but this is in reverse. So it's like you guys are not quite coming into union or getting on the same page, or you're not in alignment. So it's like if you're living together, you're not necessarily spending time together. Maybe the Sagittarius just got their head too focused on work and you're not really having time for each other. This energy feels you know, like you're not hanging out, you're not seeing each other, you're not on the same page, you're not maybe communicating. If you're in separation, you're not reuniting, or you're not coming in union, or at least that's what it feels like right now. So let's go ahead and dive into how your person feels, and then we'll get into perspectives being learned and perceptions. How does Sagittarius's person feel for healing, light, love, wisdom, guidance? Wow, the Ace of Pentacles again. A repeated energy exactly in reverse. How is Sagittarius's person feeling in the current energy about the connection or their person? Okay, we do get the Six of Pentacles in the World. And it feels like that wants to be there. We're going to go ahead and take one more. Oh. All right, and why is the Devil in reverse? Wow, we get our Empress. Empress, mini Empress, and another Empress. Okay, so again, we get the Ace of Coins in reverse. We got it in the Egyptian Tarot, and we get it again in these cards here. So for Sag's side, I'm using the White Sage Tarot. And for Sag's person, I'm using the Cosmic Garden. So what I'm seeing is, again, Sag's person is feeling like something is not being built here. We're not coming together. We're not making a life together here. We're not making a new life. We're not building the life we have forward anymore. It feels stuck, stagnant. Maybe too much focus on stuff, because there's too much focus on money over here. And again, it comes up over here, which I'll talk about in a second. But again, it's like Sag's person is not putting up with it. They're sick of the stagnation. They're sick of not moving forward, building something, some sort of life together or in the next steps. And they're ready to speak on it, be brave about it, courageous. And there's a lot of words that they want to say on it. Now, I do get energy that comes after with the Six of Pentacles in the World. So, and this comes right underneath the energy that's the Six of Cups, which is like unhealthy patterns, which we also get here from your past. And this energy feels like there's some sort of balance between the two of you that this person is trying to create. They're coming full circles, completion around the understanding of how to balance the give and take between the two of you. Something might feel like breadcrumbing to them, like you're not giving enough to them. You're spending too much time on work. I feel for most of you that's the case, but take it as it resonates. This could have to do with anything. It could have to do with maybe they're making more of the money, but they're only giving you very little, or you're having to come up with a lot more to take care of something that you both are supposed to be a part of. Or because they're spending so much time in work, they're not spending enough time with you. Something feels like it's not even, and you're learning the scales of this and what that means for you and for the connection. And it's like you're coming full circle around this. You've learned everything you need to learn about this lesson around the scales of balance between the two of you. And I feel like this has to do with that unhealthy cycle, since it fell out here, that you guys are stuck in and that keeps repeating. What I also get from your person is the Devil in reverse, clarified by the Empress. So when the Devil's in reverse, it's like you're releasing all that materialism. You're releasing your unhealthy patterns, those cycles that you're stuck in, that we see here and emphasized here. So the Empress is coming out. It's like self-love, taking care of myself. I'm going to take care of myself, love myself, build my worth and wealth, and say what I really feel, say no when I mean no, and not say yes when I mean no, and self-love, self-care, and I'm going to grow and I'm going to expand within myself. So this is the same energy showing up that we got over here as well from the Sag. So the Sag has a strong Empress energy showing up in their overall, and then we get the Empress showing up for Sag's person. So they might also feel like you are their Empress energy, because we got divine feminine, and they are feeling this about you. So they might feel like you are their divine feminine, just like this person feels like you are their divine masculine. What's interesting is this also comes out on this side, and this is strong soul purpose energy. Our Empress, Emperor, King of Wands, Queen of Wands are all soul contract and soul purposes. And this comes out on this side of the energy as soul purpose energy, divine masculine. This side of the energy comes out as soul purposes, soul contracts, soul purposes, divine feminine side of the energy. Or at least, you know, they're seeing you as the divine feminine. So there's something that's being learned here on the soul level, the root of it all, which the Sag is feeling like, I'm learning my soul contracts here, the lessons around boundaries. And the soul purposes coming out from this side of the energy is like, I'm also learning how to tap into my own nourishment of myself, taking care of myself, and releasing the addiction to unhealthy patterns. I'm coming full circle around that and learning a lesson around that, and understanding my soul purposes better, which have to do with my soul lessons, which are all about boundaries. So let's dive into our bread of life. In the pre-shuffle, we did get Matthew 18:20, which is a 9, and a 2, which is an 11, and that's a master number, so we don't break it down anymore. So the 11 is a very strong number of two independent people or individuals or sources coming together. It's also a strong spiritual number for soul tribe, or more so soul twins, and also soul mates. But soul tribes can also, if you're a strong soul vibing soul tribe, it could also come up for that. But 11 specifically is strong for soul twins and soul mates. So this number is where 2 or 3 gather in my name, there I am with them. So this is a strong reminder that when you come together, you can find that peace by both of you coming in, instead of with ego mind, coming in with a mindset of love, instead of fear, coming in with love, right? Coming in with peace, coming in with love. And when you then gather together, you are able to communicate better your standards, your boundaries, being honest with who you are, genuine with each other. And of course, this is a strong energy around Christ, or for some of you, you might call it Christ consciousness, and allowing that Christ consciousness to play a part in the healing, in the communication of the relationship, that you don't have to come together in friction. You can come together in honesty and openness and communicate what your needs really are, so that you guys can both be served. So let's go ahead and dive into perspectives. All right, the perspective that Sagittarius is learning over the next 30 days. Now, this is going to be connected to their soul's lessons, but this is also overall in life, what they are learning from their life, from the connection over the next 30 days. So this has to do with avoiding comparison. It's like, it's not too soon or too late to claim a life for yourself. There's no right way or wrong way for your life. There is your life, and you set the pace to follow the path that you want. So, you know, if you're always comparing yourself to others or looking the other paths, then you're not really honoring yours, right? And not everyone's life or path will look the same. In fact, everyone's will look very different in a lot of ways. It's not always time to be able to harvest everything that you've created or produced. Sometimes this is also a reminder that you need to rest and plan and plant and nurture, and there might not be any harvest right now. The seasons of life move through cycles of death and rebirth. So sometimes things might appear to end or fall away, but then new things begin, because life is an endless journey. So this is just a reminder that life is a revolution, life is cycles, and you are in your own cycle, and you don't need to compare that to other people's cycles. To honor your own cycle is what you're learning. And as I'm saying that, I'm seeing the cycle of the Empress, which this is also a strong energy of remembering about nurturing, planting, nurturing, resting. And that's all within the Empress too, right? You're feeling like your perspective that you are gaining over the next 30 days, which has to do with planning and resting and planting and nurturing, so that you can be abundant with that which is coming, and to not really make false comparisons. All right, so let's go ahead, but to honor your own path and your own journey. What perspective or perception do you have of your person, Sag? We're going to dive into the mind space. Remember, this is perception, so this is how Sag is perceiving the connection. It doesn't mean it's necessarily the truth, but it is how they are perceiving it. How is Sagittarius perceiving their connection for most useful, beneficial information, or perceiving their person? Well, we get our 8 of Wands reversed and our 8 of Swords upright, 6 of Swords. What's funny is our angel advice is also an 8. So now we get our 888. Some of you may be seeing a lot of 8s as confirmation this is for you. Or 11 as well. Some of you may be seeing tigers or hummingbirds or panthers also. So perception, it looks to me like Sagittarius is perceiving you, Crosswatcher, or this connection as being very stagnant. It's not moving forward. Something is at a standstill. There may be a block in communication as well. There may be some sort of separation. But if there is, it feels also like there's some sort of loyalty between you two. More so on a soul level. Since we don't really get grounded energy between you two, it feels like there's some sort of strong loyalty on a soul connection level. We also get our 8 of Swords in the upright. So this energy does have a restriction around it. There's something that is preventing this connection from moving forward, and it's in a strong stagnant place. We got stagnant energy here, here, underneath here, because of the patterns, the unhealthy patterns between you two. That has to do with being able to build or rebuild, being able to make things fair, the balances, the scales of balance is fair between you. This side feels like really focused on work and money, and then this energy is trying to free up the unhealthy patterns and get into a stronger vibe and push the energy forward, ferocious like a panther. But this side of the energy is perceiving the stagnation. Again, more stagnant energy. We get this 4 times. And there's some sort of restriction that is preventing movement forward. So it's going to vary for all of you. Maybe this has to do with a divorce that needs to go through. Maybe this has to do with emotions that need to be worked on, a therapist that needs to be seen. For some of you, this might just have to do with workaholism. Maybe someone is just avoiding the connection through work. We also get the 6 of Swords. So this is energy that is saying to be brave, to move forward and be brave. It feels a bit like the Panther energy. Being brave as you move forward out of stagnation. So this feels like they're perceiving the stagnation that you are feeling. They know there's stagnation here. They know there's a restriction that is holding it from moving forward, but they also perceive you as someone who is brave and moving forward, brave and moving forward, trying to push the energy forward. So let's go ahead and dive into perspectives and perceptions of your person. So Perspective that your person is gaining is preservation. Preservation is what they are learning in their overall perspective over the next 30 days, partly through their soul's lessons, boundaries, but also through life itself. And this energy has to do with your dreams still being alive. Like, your dreams are not lost. And you can refuse to accept until a positive outcome comes for you. This is also an awakening energy as well. We kind of got awakening from the tiger, although it was in the reverse on your person's side. This is also a bit of an awakening too. It's okay to take your time. Sometimes there are emotional barriers. Self-preservation can become self-sabotage, right? A lot of times we can say, we're doing this out of love, we're doing this to protect ourselves, we're doing this because we need to preserve ourselves. But in fact, what we're doing is self-sabotaging. So when you reject opportunities due to fear or anxiety, then you're self-sabotaging, right? Instead of moving in peace and in love. If you're moving through your ego mind, if you're moving through fear, that's when things start to go wrong. Sometimes if you're dismissing kindness, because you're doubting the connection or your person or yourself over your person's intention or even your own intention, then that can also get in your way. So peace is surrendering. I feel another message coming through from the bread of life. Peace is about surrendering, right? Trusting the process, surrendering to the divine. And trust is a very hard thing to do sometimes. We all have difficulty with it. But this is a reminder that you have peace when you surrender, and you surrender when you trust the process. You trust God. You can learn to trust yourself through God, right? Working through you. Or source, however you want to call it. And it's also a reminder that love is vulnerable. So allow yourself to trust and believe that love is there for you. You're safe, you're protected, you're loved by the divine. The divine is always there for you, holding you, supporting you, helping you when you need it, 24/7. So let love flow through creativity and be content, knowing this, right? So this is about preservation and how to persevere and how to self-preserve without self-sabotaging. So that's the perspective that's coming through overall on your person's side. So let's go ahead and dive into perceptions. Perceptions for soul tribe, soulmate, soul twins. I feel like for most of you, this is a soul mate connection or a soul tribe connection, because we do get divine feminine, divine masculine, divine feminine energy. But often these energies come out in soul tribes as well. So this could be a soul tribe, which just means that you have a strong soul connection to your person, but not necessarily soulmate or soul twin. But I feel like this is a soulmate or a soul tribe connection so far. All right, so we do get our 5 of Wands in how your person is perceiving this connection or perceiving you. The Tower. And the Sun, so that's good. So this is a strong soul twin, soulmate energy as well. So we were just talking about peace, and the 5 of Wands is all about that peace, right? It's like they perceive you as trying to find your peace, Sag. They perceive you as trying to come in with peace, perhaps, or trying to be peaceful. It's like you don't want those conflicts. But something has shaken up your world. The unexpected, which is again what we got from the Panther energy. Something expected has shaken up your world. Something you didn't see coming, or and again, those Tower moments, a lot of times they're little, but sometimes they're big. They feel like they're happening to you, but they're really happening for you and through you. to transform you, to make you stronger, to put you on the path you're meant to take when you're not really listening to spirit. So the tower is the false door out of Egypt. You know, it's the creation energy of Ta, which was all about, you know, a false door opening up, allowing the spirit and material realm to intermix, divine speech to come through, divine intervention to come through, is really what the tower energy is all about, because it originated out of Egypt originally. You can watch my Learning Center videos. I have a lot on there about the Arcana and the Hebrew and the Egyptian and the glyphs. So basically this energy is telling me that your person, Sag, feels like something has really shaken this up, or shaken you up, or shaken the connection up. You're trying to come out of conflict, come out of a place where everything feels like it's all up in the air, or you know, moody, angry kind of energy, trying to find the peace within yourself, trying to find the peace within the connection. And this energy is really positive and joyful and bringing things into clarity. You know, what wasn't clear is becoming very clear. And we get that completion energy as well, saying you're coming full circle with an understanding around this connection and understanding around your person. We get that in perceptions and in your feeling space. So whatever is going on, I feel like you're gonna land on your feet. You're gonna have more clarity around what you need to do. And what this person in this connection means to you. You're going to have solutions and answers around this. And you both are going to learn a lot around boundaries as you learn not to compare yourself to others and honor the path you're on. And you learn that you don't have to self-sabotage to self-preserve, and to move in love instead of fear, and bravery and peace instead of the ego mind. All right, so we're going to go ahead and dive into wants. I try to do a 30-minute, but they always end up around 40, 45, or an hour. So we're going to go through, try to go a little faster. What does Sagittarius want? What does Sagittarius want? Queen of Wands. Three of Swords reversed. And Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so the Sagittarius does want to, if you're an air sign, or sorry, not an air sign, if you're an Aries or a Leo, you know, they want you. Specifically saying that. But this is also the partner pair to the King of Wands. So we have the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands, which is a completion, a fullness complete around the soul contracts, right? This is like, I've got the divine masculine side of the energy, which I am feeling about you. And I want the divine feminine side of the energy. So they have divine feminine energy here and here. Take it as it resonates, but it feels like this person's the divine feminine and this is the divine masculine. But they want that divine feminine energy within themselves. They want to be able to connect to their soul's purposes and soul contracts with you. They want to be able to do that with you. And this energy feels like empowerment, motivation, passion, you know, a spring in your step again, being confident, knowing what you're doing, knowing where you're being guided at, being able to listen to your intuition, your emotions, to go toward your soul's contracts and fulfilling those, learning your soul's lessons. This energy is like releasing that pain, releasing the sorrow, releasing the depression, whatever was holding them down, releasing those lies that they tell themselves, or false beliefs they have around connection or around themselves in love, because you get these false ideas as, you know, you grow up and society tells you things that aren't true, you know, or even in your own family. So this is like releasing those fears, those lies, those hurts and sorrows and pains within the connection and within themselves. This energy is like coming together, all the money and all the work that they're doing, finally doing it for us, not just for them, but being able to build something here with you. Like they want to be able to offer that money to you. They want to be able to build with you and consider you in that. So let's see what we get for once with Saggy's person. What is Sagittarius's person? wanting. All right, we get our Hierophant, another divine masculine and a strong soulmate, soul twin energy. So now I'm feeling like this is definitely maybe a soulmate more so than a soul tribe connection. Maybe it is a soul twin. Let's see what else we get. We do also have our Two of Cups, which is a strong soulmate energy too, but it's in the reverse right now. So let's go ahead and get one more. All right, so this is telling me that your person feels like there's some sort of disharmony between the two of you. Again, not building life together or not on the same page. Maybe it feels very disaligned or discordious, if that's the word. A lot of discordiousness between you two. And this energy is like, you know, we're not together, but I want to be together. I want the divine masculine, which is you. And I want us to have a commitment. I want us to live together or be exclusive or have marriage or have a family, whatever that next commitment is for you. This is like stepping up. I want us to step up here already. And this energy here, this is interesting because in this picture, he's holding this staff with a circle on top. And this is what the Egyptian glyph looks like, the nail, which is what the Hebrew letter came out of the Hierophant, and it's also connected to the energy of Thoth. But in Hebrew, this is the Vav glyph that evolved out of that. So that's our Hierophant in Arcana. You know, this is energy also that's all around being creative, finding those creative solutions. Maybe one of you is even a writer, very knowledgeable, like having the knowledge of knowing what to do to how to fix this connection, because right now there's just this discord between the two of you, and it feels like there's some sort of strong soul tie here because this is a soulmate, soul twin energy, but it's disharmonious right now. And it's like your person is wanting that strength. This is in Hebrew, Tet, and out of Egypt it's Sekhmet. And the Sekhmet was, of course, that in Egypt they called her the god, which with the lion head, and it was in Memphis, and it was the walled city. So the glyph is, you know, that walled city circle with a cross in the middle of it, which means, you know, fortitude, protection, strength, which is what this comes out of and why it's also a lion. So this energy tells me that your person wants either you or themselves to find the courage, to find the boundaries. This is a strong energy around showing up for your boundaries, who you are, what you want, either for you or for them or for both of you, to have that strength, to have that boundary, to find that commitment, the knowledge, the know-how to make the discord, the stagnation between the two of you calm down, right? And to be able to come together. So we're going to draw a Hebrew letter for the most significant action that is taking place in your connection over the next 30 days. That is for your highest guidance and wisdom. Okay, so these two want to come out. Or we get Vav again. So this is the same energy here. And we get Hey, which is Emperor, which is interesting because we've got Empress, mini Empress, but I did not see the Emperor yet. Although we did get the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands, which is like a unified soul contract. But we didn't have the Emperor. Now we do. So in the Hebrew, the Hierophant is Vav. And so the most significant event is going to be around that commitment. It's going to be around that next step over the next 30 days. And Hey is the Emperor. So this is all around the divine masculine. Now it feels like this energy is the divine masculine, but take it as it resonates. And like this person coming into love instead of fear, coming into peace instead of ego. And this side of the energy coming together toward purposes, right? But we're going to get into actions and find out what you both are actually going to be doing in current energy. Remember, you're in charge of your ship, how fast, how slow, if you want to course correct, turn around, or stop. That's your decision. You have free will. This is to give you a snapshot of energy, to give you some guidance and wisdom in what's going on, to help you understand what is resonating with you better. So the hay is that emperor energy. So this is also divine soul purpose. So we have the divine feminine's soul purposes, we have divine feminine soul purposes, and now we have divine masculine soul purposes. We had masculine, divine masculine soul contracts, and now we have divine masculine soul purposes. So, and we also got our sun and our Hierophant twice. So this is now definitely soulmate energy, if not soul twin. Because there's way too much soul energy now showing up as the reading is continuing. So the divine masculine energy feels like it's going to be showing up over the next 30 days, finding its soul purposes better, showing up in love instead of fear, showing up in peace instead of ego, and connecting. This is going to help connect it to its higher desire of commitment, whatever that means for you two. Sometimes that can mean exclusivity, sometimes that means living together, or marriage or family. Sometimes that just means that you two are, you know that you are bound together for life, and you're acknowledging that, and you're not really sure what that will mean for your future. But there's something around knowing the purposes in the soul that connect you, and moving forward out of this stagnation toward commitments. And I feel like you two are coming together. It doesn't look like an ending so far. But let's go ahead and draw into what you actually do, because sometimes what we want and what we do are different things, although this is the most significant action that will be taking place. So what actions will Sagittarius take toward, or for the connection, for their person, and for the most significant events? All right, we do get our Nine of Wands. King of Cups reversed. And then the Page of Wands. Why is our King of Cups reversed? Knight of Wands. Why is our Nine of Wands there? Why the Nine of Wands? Death and Five of Cups. Okay. All right, so the actions that our Sag will take. So the Nine of Wands is a heavy energy. It's fighting through the wilderness. Somehow I made it through the wilderness. Somehow I made it through, that Madonna song. It's fighting for love, fighting through it, but it's really heavy. It's really hard sometimes, but you've got a strong sense of persistence, a strong sense of direction. I mean, it's a Wands energy, right? So you are more connected to what your soul is wanting, and you're not giving up the path, right? But it is hard to do. There's something that's hard to do here. And this energy is stuck around grief, loss, or depression, or feeling like something is sad, something is depressed, something is lost, and there's a stuck energy around that. And so it's like you're trying to push through that. I feel like you're trying to push through the sorrow. And maybe this doesn't have to do with the connection itself. Maybe something happened in one or both of your lives, one or the other's life, that made something really sad, or there was some sort of loss. But it can, of course, have to do with the connection itself. Some sort of grief or depression occurring here. And that's causing a stagnation. I mean, maybe it's around the fact that you're focused too much on money, and this person is feeling like the scales of balance between you two. It's like you're not spending enough time here, or you're not offering enough money, especially for as much as you make, and something's not fair here. And so I feel sad about it. And there's a stuck energy around whatever the sadness is, and it'll vary for each of you because there's so many of you watching, but it's like this stuck, there's a stagnation there, and pushing through that is what this Sagittarius is trying to do. It is hard to do, but it's like they're doing it and they're staying focused on doing that. This here feels like immaturity, like the Sagittarius is not quite aligning their heart and their mind together. They might be showing up a little in and out and non-committal, let's have fun. Even though I don't feel like that's their true intention, they might be coming across that way over the next 30 days. We do get the Page of Wands, so it does finish off with feeling like they do want something real here. They want to start something real here. They want to kick it off. They're feeling motivated and passionate and connected to fulfilling soul contracts and soul purposes. So let's go ahead and see what we get. I was just about to use your cards. Let's see what we get for our Sagittarius's person in terms of actions. What actions will Sagittarius's person take for their connection or their person over the next 30 days? All right, so this is our King of Swords. I feel like that was more in the upright, but let's see what we get. The Lovers. All right, so this might very well be a twin soul for many of you, but it could be soulmate or karmic soulmate. All right, the Seven of Cups and Judgment. So why is the King of Swords reversed? Why is the Lovers reversed? Okay, so the actions that your person will be taking, it looks like there's going to be conversations that don't sound so good between the two of you. It may lead to arguments about how one of you, more likely the Sag, since this is coming from their action space, is not being vulnerable, not being open, or not opening up to allow this to flow, to move forward, to move on. And it might turn argumentative. So the warning around that would be to be careful with your words and the way you're communicating. Your communication showed up more beautifully in your current energy is how you are. So make sure that by the end of the month, you're not showing up more conflicty and argumentative. There's a way to say things where you can still get across your point without causing a lot of friction in the way that you're communicating with someone. So the next energy I get is Lovers, which is our strong soul twin energy. It did come in reverse though, so this feels again like the Two of Cups also came in reverse. Like there is a discord, disalignment, not together, not reunited. The Four of Wands was also reversed. So all four major energies about unions and reunions and coming together and being at peace are in reverse. So again, this one is the action for your person. It feels like there's a sense of not coming together or not being harmonious. And it feels like that's because of the way you two are exchanging words. And it's really hard to let go of something here on this side of the energy that feels like a loss or something sad. Or maybe the way that you're showing up, you're showing up immature, like the King of Cups reversed, which is an immature, emotionally unavailable energy. Like, let's have fun, but I'm not emotionally available. And maybe I'm focusing too much on work. Your person is like, because of that, it seems to me that your person is going to be reacting to that in a way that feels like, okay, we're not together, we're not aligned. Because this feels more like a fantasy, more like something you want to happen, but it isn't actually happening. And I need that trust in this again. I need that trust in you, the trust in the connection. I need you to trust this connection again. I need you to have faith in it again. Like, you know, when we were first together, or like when you have new love. to believe in that again. Like it feels stagnant, it feels stuck, and it feels like we need to move forward. And then after that, I do see real positive energy, which is like unconditional love, and really making a decision here around a new version of themselves, a new version of the connection moving forward. So I feel like you're going to be going through some shifts out of the stagnation, maybe words being said that are a bit harder around showing up for the soul purposes, soul contracts, the commitment itself, which is what you guys will most likely be talking about. But around that has to do with your soul realizing what it needs to do. And then you're going to be moving out of this discordious energy, argumentative energy, really feeling like this person is being emotionally immature as well, and moving more toward, okay, let's make it real. Let's make something happen. Let's do a new version of ourselves. Oh, this is also hearing the call. So I got that in my meditation. This energy is all around hearing the call, hearing your purpose, hearing your soul's purpose. So I feel like both of you are going to be doing that more so. And then you're both coming toward your commitment energy and your divine masculine energy. So let's go ahead and look at our signs. We do get a strong Taurus, a strong Aries, Aries again with Scorpio, Gemini. This is a strong Libra and Aquarius, a strong Taurus energy, Leo energy, another Leo, a strong Aries, a strong Capricorn energy, Taurus. This is all of our Earth, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. So that's what we have on this side, and these are our soul energies, which we'll go over in one moment. And on your side, we have Aries, Leo, Scorpio, Cancer. Remember, this is a general, but these are the signs that are coming up. And this is Aries and Leo again. And a Taurus. So that's what we have in signs. In terms of soul energy, wow, we've got a lot. We have our Four of Wands, which is soulmate, soul twin energy. We have our soul contract energy, more soul contract energy coming together with purpose on this side of the energy. In the middle, of course, we get our divine purposes and divine masculine energy. And on this side of the energy for your person, we do get divine feminine, soulmate, soul twin, divine masculine, divine feminine, and soul twin energy on this side of the energy. So that's what we have with the souls. For advice from our angel guides, 0440. So you guys might be seeing, again, a sequence of 8s, because that numerically is an 8, but you might also be seeing 0440. This is all about your gut feeling, trusting your gut, listening to your gut to help you with your boundaries. Intuition, integrity, relationship, value, insight, perception, love, and commitment. Trust your intuition. It's more than a feeling. Be genuine with others and prioritize meaningful relationship. Remember to bring value to every interaction. Treat others with respect, as your actions will return to you in kind. Be mindful of boundaries, as too many voices can cloud your journey. Again, a mention of boundaries, which we got as well here. So there's a strong emphasis on that you're learning. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you in the next 30.